Once upon a time in a small village called Nola, there lived a young woman named Amina. Amina was beautiful, kind, and full of life. She had always dreamed of marrying a good man and living a happy life. One day, her dream came true when she met Kofi, a wealthy and handsome man who had come to Nola from a faraway land. Kofi fell in love with Amina the moment he saw her, and soon they were married in a grand ceremony that everyone in the village attended. Amina's life seemed perfect. She had a loving husband, a big house, and everything she could ever want. But deep inside, Amina carried a secret so dark that it haunted her every night. She tried to hide it from Kofi, but the secret was like a shadow that followed her everywhere she went. Amina had grown up in a poor family. Her parents had died when she was very young, leaving her to fend for herself. She lived with her aunt, a cruel woman who treated her like a servant. Amina did all the housework, and her aunt never showed her any love or kindness. One day, Amina's aunt told her that she was going to marry her off to an old man who was rich but very mean. Amina was terrified. She didn't want to marry the old man, but she knew that if she refused, her aunt would punish her. The night before the wedding, Amina ran away from home. She ran as fast as she could, not stopping until she reached the edge of the village. There, she met a group of travelers who were passing through. They took pity on her and offered her a place to stay. Amina was grateful, but she knew she couldn't stay with them forever. So she left early the next morning and wandered from village to village, looking for a place where she could start a new life. One day, Amina came across a small village called Zuri. The people there were kind, and they welcomed her with open arms. Amina found work as a maid in a rich man's house, and for a while, she was happy. But then, something terrible happened. The rich man's son, Tariq, took a liking to Amina. He would often come to the kitchen where she worked and talk to her. At first, Amina didn't mind. Tariq was handsome and charming, and she enjoyed their conversations. But soon, Tariq's intentions became clear. He wanted Amina to be his lover, but Amina refused. She knew that if anyone found out, she would be thrown out of the village. One night, Tariq came to Amina's room and tried to force himself on her. Amina fought back with all her strength, but Tariq was too strong. In the struggle, Amina grabbed a knife and stabbed him. Tariq fell to the ground, blood pouring from his wound. Amina was horrified at what she had done. She knew that if anyone found out, she would be punished severely. In a panic, Amina fled the village and went back to wandering from place to place, always looking over her shoulder, fearing that someone would discover her secret. Eventually, she ended up in Nola, where she met Kofi. Now, Amina was married to Kofi, and she loved him deeply. But the guilt of what she had done weighed heavily on her heart. She tried to forget about it, but the memory of that night haunted her dreams.